What's up, guys? Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and it's time for my In the Bag for 2025. Let's get to it. It makes perfect sense, guys. I finally get the go-ahead from my doctor to throw full power, backhands, forehands, whatever, go crazy. And winter returns with a vengeance. The forecast is absolutely terrible, so since I can't get out and throw, I figured I'd show you guys what I would be throwing if I could. Now, before we get in the bag, I do have some sponsorship updates for 2025. First, I'm happy to announce I am returning to Team Foundation Discs for another season. Shout out to Hunter, Jason, all the Foundation guys. I really appreciate the support. Love working with you guys. No idea why you keep me around. I literally glitter bombed you, and I'm still here, so thank you for putting up with me. I'm also returning to Team Phoenix Discs for another season. Shout out to Andrew Felker. Guys, if you need anything for your club, tags, trophies, rubber ink stamps, whatever, if you can think it, he can probably make it for you, so check him out. I'm also going to be continuing my affiliate status with Atlas Disc Golf Supply. Great disc golf bags, can't beat the prices, and they've been teasing a pro bag coming out in the spring. Really hope that comes out. I'm excited to check it out. And lastly, a new one to add. I'm happy to announce I'm going to be a brand ambassador for Friction Gloves. You've heard me talk about them on the channel before. Absolutely love them. Been using their products since 2017, and they just really save your hand and help give you a good, consistent grip in all kinds of bad conditions. So really excited to be working with them. Kind of getting the finer details worked out still. Once we have that all hammered out, I'll make a formal announcement so you guys can see how you can support me and support them. Really great products. So for the 2025 season, my bag's already undergoing some changes just as my shoulder is healing, and I'm trying to get my form cleaned up so I put less stress on my shoulder. So I'm just noticing some flights are a little bit different. So I have made some shifts in my bag, but definitely expect some more changes as this whole process carries out. But figured I'd give you guys the starting point with this in the bag. So starting off, we're going to go with putt and approach. So putting putters, just got a fresh pair of anodes in the bag. These are just 172 gram Electron mediums, kind of my middle ground right now. I've been playing with the softies a bit for more of a spin putt style. Feeling though that I really like the medium, just a little bit of give, not too much, but not too firm. And these are just a fresh pair. I broke them in at the Tyler Ice Bowl this past weekend, and yeah, they did pretty well for me. It was super windy, just really nasty conditions, so any putting errors were solely my fault. All right. Approach. You heard me sing its praises. You saw me get my first ace with it on this channel last season, or last year. Streamline Range in Eclipse Plastic. Absolutely love this disc. Got a bunch of them stocked up now. I know we're waiting for or by the time this comes out, they'll already be available. The Eagle McMahon Cosmic Neutron ones. It seems like they're going to be a little more firmer, but I'm not really a fan of throwing firm discs. I like softer stuff. So the Eclipse has got that nice gumminess for me. So I got a nice little supply of these, and yeah, guys, absolutely love them. Just lets me throw a more full power natural shot, and I know it's not going to glide really far past the target if I overshoot, so just absolutely love this disc. Now, when I want glide, I go to my Eclipse Proton Soft Anode. Old run, they don't make these anymore. Just nice, it's like super gummy. And I like this disc just because it's very neutral and workable. My bread and butter shot with it is just putting it kind of up on an anhyzer where I need it to like carry a bit, but hit nice and flat. Don't got to worry about cut rolls. So I can throw a lot of finesse shots with this disc, and it really has gotten me out of some trouble. And lastly, covering the approach discs, Electron Entropy. I was so happy we got a stock run of these this year. I can finally start using my circuit ones without fear, and I have plenty of backup. The stock runs are just as good, and I just absolutely love these discs. They, just have a good, reliable, overstable finish, and are just really comfortable, especially forehand. Just real, nice and simple. Don't have to worry about flipping it over. And even when you beat these things to a pulp, the worst thing that happens is it becomes an absolute straight shooter. Don't have those in my bag, but now that I'm starting to build more of a stockpile of them, once I have like one or two more beaten to the point where they're just like perfect straight torque resistant upshot discs, they might be coming into the bag, might be challenging the Adnode for a slot, but we'll see. But yeah, these are my putt and approach discs for 2025. Up next, we have the throwing putters. Up first in the understable slot, we have this Electron Envy, an old patent pending. You guys have probably seen the light pink one I had in my previous in the bags. Unfortunately, I dunked that one in the pond at Stafford, and I doubt it's ever coming back. So, had this one cooking in the backup bag, ready to step up, and it has stepped up. You can see it's nice and seasoned. See all the deformation in the rim there. This guy's been through some stuff. That's how I like my Electron Envies. Just beat them up, get a little more flip out of them. Hit it on hyzer flip, it goes flat and just goes for days. Get some big panning anhyzers out of it. In terms of play, it's very comparable to my Eclipse Proton Soft Anode. Just that I can hit this with more power, more speed, get more distance out of it. So this is more of my aggressive trick shot disc, and I just love seeing all the cool flights it gives me. Next up, the most neutral flying putter I've ever thrown. Shout out to Ironmouth. I love this disc. My favorite color combo, black core, red rim. I've just beaten this thing up so perfectly, and it just is perfectly neutral. I just, if you watch, I throw it flat on like hole probably 11, I think, at French Creek, and it just goes flat, pushes forever, never leaves the line, and lands straight. Anheuser's, it just holds it. Hyzer's, same deal. Really love it. It's, it's really like my aggressive, neutral disc, and I will be in a lot of trouble if I lose it. I have some backups ready to go, but I'll still be sad when it goes bye-bye. Hope that day never comes. Now, like I said, that disc just goes straight, and I'm used to discs finishing, so I've added this Neutron Soft Envy to the bag. Nice and gummy. And I just love, this is that patent pending run. A lot of people talked about it being the most overstable run of Envies ever. Don't know if that's true given some of the newer runs of like the Prism Proton and stuff, but still absolutely love this disc. One MA1 at once around the mountain with it, and realized I need to put it in the bag. So very similar to the Neutron Envy that holds the line pretty well, but it has a little more bite at the end. So if I need to push a tunnel and then hyzer out the end, this is my go-to, and I love that it's soft because I prefer throwing softer plastic, and also I can control the ground play with this disc so well on hyzer, so I can really stick my landing spots and really makes your putting life easier when you can stick your up shots. And wrapping up the throwing putters, we got an old 2019 MVP Open Plasma Entropy. These are a little bit lower profile compared to the stock run, but honestly, they fly pretty identical. And I just had to make the decision: did I want to throw a more, a new Plasma Entropy, or would the beat up one work? And after throwing them both around for a bit, I really think I can get all the shots I need out of the beat up one, and then I do have newer ones in my backup bag, just beating them up a little bit. So I can stretch this guy out a little bit further if I need to, but if I needed to, hyzer up quicker, I can just add a little bit of angle to it, and it covers that for me. But yeah, these have been my throwing putters for 2025. And moving along to mid-ranges, my favorite slot. Covering understable, we got the Gyropalooza Uplink still in the bag. I absolutely love this disc. I got plenty of backups for it. This disc has saved my butt more times than I can count, just with all the crazy tricks you can pull off with it. My favorite shot with it is actually when I'm like 150 to 175 from the basket, and my footing is just compromised. Rocks, roots, mud, what have you. And just throwing this disc nice and smooth, a little bit of hyzer, watching it pop up to flat, and just do all the work for me. I sing the praises of this disc to everybody, from first timer on the course to your touring pros. I think everybody could find some use in an uplink. Now, a little more stable, so they hit a little more power and get a lot of distance out of the Fission Reactor. Absolutely love this disc. This is one of the first ones I got. And this one, you hit it flat and it just flips to Annie a little bit and just gives you that nice long panning shot. And then bites back at the end, doesn't just turn and burn. So this is something I can hit with a little more power than the uplink and not have to worry about it. And if I catch this on the right angle, guys, I have gotten this disc out to like 350, which is crazy for a mid-range. Now, while that one is beat in, this is the newer Fission Reactor, although I've hit some trees with it. You see the marks there? My bad. But this one's just a little more, fresher. So this one, if you hit flat, it'll actually kind of just hold it flat and then, finish reliably at the end. And I've actually been able to hit some cool flex shots with this. Just give it some ante, and it will pan out, but it will fight back too. So I have weaved through the trees with this disc before, and not always hit them. So yeah, another one that's really fun to shape shots with in the woods. So the TK Pyro. I have beaten the heck out of this disc, and I just love the fact that it keeps holding on to its overstability no matter what I do to it. Absolutely love it. Can really stretch it out, and this is just more of a overstable utility disc. Whereas the newer reactors, if there's some wind out there, I could lose it. Flip it over a bit. This thing just laughs at headwind. Absolutely love it, and I really especially love it for forehand. That's where it really shines. When I got the go-ahead to throw forehands again for my doctor, this was the first disc I grabbed to throw in the field forehand, just because I missed it so much. And lastly, the utility, the beef, the deflector. This is just the I need an overstable shot, either to get around a corner or to just laugh in headwind. Got an ace with it last year on hole 5 at Fulmore. Just nice and easy forehand. Put it up in the air, little nose up, stalled around the corner, dove in. Thank you again to Don Freeman for hooking me up with this disc. Love the stamp on it. And this is just that absolute utility, overstable mid range. And I've said it before on videos. I always find myself regretting not throwing it more. When I finally come to a situation where I need it, I grab it, it delivers, and then I say, why don't I do that more? So hopefully I will, remember the mental note and throw the deflector a lot more and get all the benefits from it. And that has been my mid-ranges for 2025. Up next, we got the fairway drivers, and I'm having a little bit of trouble with this category. Starting off, for understable, we got the Elaine King Relay still. I dropped it a while ago just because it didn't give me that much separation between the uplink. But now that I'm changing my form up, I am stretching a little bit further, but I have said I would really like MVP to give me something that's like a 7.5 neg 3-1 or even an 8.5 neg 3-1, just to give me that extra speed separation. But right now, coming off the changes in my shoulder, I am trying to relearn the angles on this disc because I've lost them. I used to know exactly how to hit it on hyzer to get it to flip to anhyzer and give me that really crazy max distance hyzer flip, or the really useful extreme hyzer flip to not quite flat to turn a corner and push. So I'm still relearning this disc. Might be changing it during the season. We'll see. Say, you guys, the oldies know, if you see that pattern of the dirt in the flight plate, this is that patent pending fission volt. These things are absolute money, nice and flat top, really comfortable, and I'm just looking at all the scars on the bottom of this disc. We have been through some stuff. This disc is just so beaten now. Throw it flat. It's kind of like it's like a longer fission reactor. Just pans out to the right, gives me a great long flight, and then has a little bit of bite at the end. I had some great hyzer flips with it. Feels really nice for forehand flip-up shots, too. And like the reactor, I have a super beat-up one, and then a more, a newer one, not as beat up. This is patented. It's got some dome on it, and this thing is a bomber, guys. Just love being able to stretch this disc out. I've been going to it a lot recently just to, give myself good amount of distance and control, because I'll talk about it. I'm really struggling with the distance drivers right now, so I've been leaning on this disc very heavily, and it has been delivering. So yeah, this is my favorite release in the James Conrad line, the Terra. Didn't like it at launch, but it grew on me. I love the combination of overstability and glide. I think a lot of people who throw Firebirds will get much better use out of a Terra. I love it too on forehands. I know it's a Conrad disc because it's legal. But for forehands, I can hit it on all kinds of crazy angles and just shape some crazy lines. So really enjoy throwing the Terra. And it's just a really, if there's wind out there, even with the glide, it's not going to flip over on you. It's really reliable and great for distance. And lastly, got that overstable utility, the Fireball. This thing is just an absolute meat hook. I know the colors are terrible. Got it out of a used bin. And just wanted to try it out in plasma, and I just love it because it goes where I throw it. Completely flat top. Just I just love being able to knife over on this, get flex shots, just any kind of utility shot. This thing delivers similar to the deflector, but just gives me a little more distance. So those are my fairway drivers for 2025. And wrapping up the disc for my In the Bag 2025 are my distance drivers. As I said, I'm struggling with this category. I've always struggled with it, but the shoulder complications have not helped. You really got to have your angles dialed with your distance drivers to get that full benefit of that distance without sacrificing too much control. And I'm working on it. So this is the lineup I have right now. Don't be surprised to see things change as, my form and, my game changes. Starting off, understable slot. Beat the heck. Patent pending Fission Photon. Absolutely love this thing. It's been with me through so much. I mean, just look right there. You can see the massive chunk I took out of it on the metal Mando sign on hole 18 at Lenape. I didn't miss the Mando. I obliterated it. But yeah, this disc is just such a great utility trick shot disc. It saved my butt so much. Really don't see this come out of my bag for a very long time. A little more stable, we have, this is a newer Fission Photon. This guy was 2020. I bought this from Bria when he just started carrying MVP. Wanted to make sure he'd buy more of it, so I bought this, even though the color is pretty terrible, this maroon, but feels really good, nice and gummy. Pretty beat up, so this gives me that nice, like, flat to long panning Anheuser with a little fade at the end. This one, though, I am struggling a lot with trying to find those sweet spot angles again, so going to keep working with it, but, might be popping out of the bag. We'll see. Hope not, because it feels great. Another one from Bria. This is the Bria Bear stamp. This was part of the Max Planck special edition run, so these things are gummy. Absolutely love it. Don't see this one going anywhere, though, because this is gives me that nice, reliable, flat, doesn't really turn that much, and then reliable hyzer. So I like this just for that control and consistency. And I like this, the gumminess, again, really helps me control the ground play. Now, last year, I was singing the praises of the Fission time-lapse. But since, getting my shoulder worked on and trying to come back, I can't control the darn thing. I just can't find that sweet spot hyzer angle to get the flip to flat or flip to a little bit of ante and go. I just keep losing it over to the right, over and over again. So I have dumped the Fission time-lapse and actually gone with the Neutron time-lapse. So I actually feel really good throwing this disc again. I've actually been getting just a little bit of turn out of it, not too much, but it's a little more overstable compared to the Bria Bear Photon. So where this disc has really been useful to me is the wind has been crazy up here. And I've just stepped up to some long tee pads and was not feeling confident in any of my drivers. So I've recently put this in the bag, and it is, chewing up headwind really nicely. I love the control of it so far. It can kind of push a little bit further than my Photons if I catch it just right, but again, still figuring it out, but so far it's been delivering for me. And guys, that has been my distance drivers for 2025. Thank you guys for watching my In the Bag 2025. Two more things before we go. First, I am still rocking the MVP Voyager Pro V2. I love this bag. I've spent so many hours with it. Shout out to the Troll Boys, Sarah Hokum, Travis from Cape May County Disc Golf. I got it all blinged up and customized. Put it through the paces, put it through the ringer, and it definitely shows. So it's time to put it out to pasture soon. As I've said, Atlas Disc Golf Supply Company is looking to put the pro version of their bag out sometime this year, so I'm definitely going to check that out. But if that's not to my liking, I wouldn't mind going with a Voyager Pro V2 again. MVP just did a restock with some, new colorways. You got the James Conrad colorways. I think they've hinted at doing bags for Eagle and Simon as well. So I got some options. So stay tuned to see what I go with. And lastly, if you stuck around this long, gotta reward you. So to thank you guys, I am giving away this Fission time-lapse. 166 gram. This was the stamp they ran to support the German championships. So you can see here the stamp is actually in German. It's a really fun disc. So to win this, all you gotta do is just tell me down below, what is the newest disc in your bag, and when did you put it in? So tell me that in the comments below, and a few days from now I'll do a cutoff, I'll do a drawing, and the winner will be getting that disc from me. But yeah, guys, I'm really looking forward to 2025. I hope my shoulder works out, and this is the best year for me and the best year for you too. So with that, I want to say thank you for all your support. If you have any questions for me, reach out. I'll do my best to answer them. Take care.
Thank you to my sponsors. For all your disc golf needs, check out Phoenix Discs and Foundation Disc Golf.